You know what I find hard to believe is in pharmacies, they just don't have products that'll stimulate your immune system, but nature provides a lot of them. Dr. Scott Fogel is here from Life Extension. He's going to talk about supercharging your immune system, and you really need that. Then Lindsay is going to be in our kitchen and give us something called chimichangas. How about that? That sounds good. Then I'm going to teach you on today's show what's the difference between a tumor and a lump. All that and a whole lot more on today's Know the Cause. My name is Doug Kaufman. For the past 40 years, I've dedicated my life and even my career to finding the root cause of disease. Join me in a team of physicians, pharmacists, and scientists, and soon you too will know the cause. So you see that sign, right? You know it's Life Extension time, and for us that means a real education. Dr. Scott Fogel joins us today. Thank you.
Pleasure to be back.
I haven't seen you in a little while. It's great to be with you again. Your educational approach is brilliant. Life Extension, I love this company.
Oh, Doug, don't stop. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Pat me on the back and raise a hand. I want to talk today about some of us need to jumpstart, some of us need to supercharge our immune system. I think we all have immune systems, or we wouldn't be here, or we'd be in a bubble. But there are immune systems, and then there are supercharged immune systems. And what Dr. Fogel wants to talk about is the immune system. Let's start with what our immune system is, because most of us think it's white blood cells and lymph nodes. But boy, have we learned a lot in the last few years.
Yeah, I could talk about the immune system all day long. I mean, I love it. In fact, if I was a younger person, I would probably want to get my PhD in immunology. It's just so fascinating and it's so complex. But there's some great, easy to understand ways to think of the immune system. Is you have an innate immune system and an adaptive immune system. So your innate immune system is right at the forefront. It's ready, has things like natural killer cells in it. Natural killer cells, they're always going around your body. They're really great at like viruses, cancers. So you want your innate immune system always ready. Now your adaptive immune system is, okay, the innate immune system for some reason can't clear the infection. Now your adaptive immune system comes online and it sends out special messengers to make specialized attacks to get rid of that microbe invader. So it's really wonderful how the body does this.
And you said if you were a younger man, to me, you mean my grandson, you are a younger man. The thing I've learned in the past 10, 15 years is how much of that immune system is right here. And your company is brilliant at focusing on that. You know, really the gut immunity or the gut bacteria that help us with our immune cells. So how do people, I learned long before I understood supplements back 40 years ago, that exercise helped my immune system. Then I learned that certain foods actually enhanced my immunity, whereas certain alcohol, for example, caused its downfall. So I go way back to where exercise and diet were pivotal in making good immunity. And then along comes Life Extension, you know, around the same time I got married in 1980. And you have these amazing immune system supplements that assist people whose thumbprint may not be as good as mine or other people. In other words, whose immune system need a little help. So let's start off with the 5 products that you brought in today, talking about supplemental immunity, right?
The first one I probably want to talk about is one of my favorites. And this one, I love this because this is like the wisdom of nature, the wisdom of the ancients. The Chinese have used reishi mushrooms for centuries for supporting a healthy immune system. And I love the reishi because it's really good at helping to support that immunosurveillance. Like you want your immune system on the ready, looking out for things that it has to address. And the reishi is really good at that. And another thing it's really good at is working with your T cells. T cells are these wonderful orchestrators of that adaptive immune response I talked about earlier. So they orchestrate a targeted attack against microbes if they're there and it needs to. So reishi's great with that immune surveillance, and it's really great at working with the T cells to keep them active. So there's a reason why the Chinese have used it for so long.
You know, you would love this. I was at a cancer meeting. I finally got continuing medical education units that I could dispense to cancer doctors. And I was talking about, you know, our diet says don't eat any mushrooms. And after it was all over, swarms of doctors came up to me raising their hands and saying, but my patients are doing well. Let me just say on the record, I have no doubt that there are mushrooms with beneficial immune properties, right? That's what beta-glucan is. So I have no doubt about that. For those of you who feel you can tolerate mushrooms, reishi mushroom has been documented for what? Hundreds of years.
Yes.
As a formula, or as a product that really works. But there are others, and that's why we asked Dr. Fogel to come in. He is the Executive Director of Clinical Information, smart guy, over at Life Extension. So when we get back, let's talk about the other immune modulators and immune assistants that we have. Don't go away. Okay, now we're talking about the immune system. We all have them, otherwise we wouldn't be here. It's how to supercharge them, how to make them work better for us. And there are arms you can put inside these little cells to arm them, to prepare them, to launch them should an invader come inside your body. And we were talking about, in the old days, I used to think the immune system was right there, or right here, or at the top of your legs, or your white blood cells. Now we know that a huge percentage of our immune system is in our gut. So it's important what we fuel the gut with. Bad food in, bad immunity out, right? So if you have poor immunity or your immune system dips a little bit, how do you take care of that? First product was something called reishi mushroom that Life Extension has put together. This is a immune modulatory, immune stimulating product. And by the way, that's well documented for a long period of time. So people who can eat mushroom and eat this particular product, that's a dynamic product that really helps and is backed by science. Everything this company does is backed by science. Thank you, by the way, for Life Extension, and you're 11 years in it.
Thanks.
Really good stuff. Next product is, this is an interesting word, new word for so many people. Teach us what the next product is.
It's called immunosenescence.
Senescence.
Yeah, so what that means basically is as we age, our immune system unfortunately is doing this. It's becoming slower, it's not responding as good as it should anymore. So we took the reishi extract, one of my favorites, and we added two more things in there, two really important ones. One is called pu'er tea. Not many people even heard about it, but
pu'er tea? Like
yeah,
a cup
it's like
of tea.
It's like a tea, but this, of course, is in the extract form. Right. But emperors used to drink this for longevity. Wow. Okay, so it's great stuff. But now we kind of know part of the mechanism. The mechanism is it supports the bone marrow. Guess where all your white blood cells come from?
Ta-da, bone marrow.
So it makes perfect sense that if you want to have a long-lasting, healthy immune system, you need something to support the bone marrow. So we have the reishi, the pu'er tea, and then we add in sustanche. And sustanche is great because what it does is, as the cells come out of the bone marrow, they're young. We call them naive T cells. But as we age, we don't have as many of the young ones, and we have older cells. These are a little bit slower than when they were young. And so as we age, we get too many of the old ones, not enough of the young ones.
Gotcha.
So the sustanche helps to bring that back into balance, which is amazing. So, and all three of these have this great benefit of supporting natural killer cell activity. And natural killer cells, they're at the forefront. They're cruising around your body looking for things, viruses, cancers. So you want to keep those healthy. So it's a great combination product.
You must love working for Life Extension. I mean,
I do.
The ability to put these things together is just amazing. Here you have three benefits in one bottle. Next product.
Echinacea extract.
I love it.
People probably have heard about this one.
Yep.
It's tried and true. Native Americans used to use it. It is great for both arms of the immune system. Earlier I mentioned the adaptive and the innate. This one helps to modulate both. And if you start to feel like some irritation in your throat and your tonsils, this is a great thing to reach for. There was even a 2015 meta-analysis that looked at a bunch of studies on it. and they said, hey, this is very supportive for the upper respiratory system.
Wow.
So one of my favorites, Echinacea.
Tremendous. And from there, you keep going. Anybody else would stop there. You guys
Right.
keep going. What is the next one? It's NK.
NK cell activator.
Yeah.
So we talked about the NK cells. They're so vital. This one is specifically, that's its whole job, is to activate those natural killer cells. It's a nice form of modified rice protein. And this is one, like, I would keep this handy. If I'm starting to feel unwell, I'm grabbing it.
Okay.
Okay, right away.
Emergency.
Yeah, you're right. Start that one right away.
And then lactoferrin. What is that?
Lactoferrin is very, very interesting. It's in our tears. It's in mother's milk. In fact, the first milk that a baby drinks is loaded with lactoferrin.
The colostrum is just loaded with it.
It's amazing stuff. And what we're finding now is, we talked about the gut bugs and the immune system. Lactoferrin, very supportive for helping to keep the healthy bugs there. So fantastic for the GI tract. And if you buy the right form, which is the apolilactoferrin, the form we have, it also is good at binding iron, because iron's a problem if it's too high. Exactly. And it's also fuel for bacteria and viruses. They use it, so sometimes it's important to bind it.
It's all about supercharging your immune system. Do you need 1, 2, or 5 products? Folks, pick up the phone and talk with someone very educated in all of this. Nutritionist, doctor over there at Life Extension. There's the toll-free number. And I'll tell you what, everything is half off. The quality is here. Everything is 50% off. Become a customer. I'm one. I've been one for quite a while. Thank you, Dr. Fogel.
Pleasure to be here.
You bet.
Now is the time to become a Life Extension customer. Call now and get a free 1-year subscription to the very informative Life Extension magazine, in addition to saving money on hundreds of high-quality Life Extension supplements. Call this number or go to the website and get an extra discount on the products we discussed today. And be sure to tell them that Doug sent you.
You know, I had seen ads on TV for something called chimichangas, and I've never really had one until Lindsay made cream cheese strawberry chimichangas. Watch this.
Hey, I'm Lindsay Crouch from Guiltless Superfoods. We make all those seed-based breads and tortillas, yeast-free, Phase 1 and Phase 2 approved bread products. Well, today we're going to use them in a really fun dessert that's really simple to do. These are perfect for a Mexican night, or even just a family dessert for just a family dinner night at home. What we're going to do is we're going to start by making our filling. Now, this is just 8-ounce package of cream cheese. That's a full-fat cream cheese, unsweetened, of course. Just regular plain old cream cheese. This is 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. Adds that nice protein in there. 2 tablespoons of xylitol. And xylitol is a sweetener that's made from the fibers of fruits and vegetables. You can find it at really any health food store, Whole Foods, Central Market. You can even find it at our local grocery store in Austin, Texas. It's becoming very well known these days. What we're going to do is just put that on about medium and get it blended. Okay, perfect. It's blended perfectly. Everything nice and combined. It's whipped, smooth and frothy. We're gonna fold in. This is a cup of sliced strawberries. Just fold them together. You can already smell the vanilla, the strawberries, the cream cheese. Smells amazing. Okay, now that's that for our filling. Now I'm gonna grab one of these tortillas. These are grain-free, gluten-free, yeast-free. It's made from 7 seeds. It's really a superfood tortilla. I like to take a scooper. It allows me to get the filling kind of consistent for each one. And you're just gonna drop it right down in the middle. Flatten it out a little bit, and just take each side, fold them in, and the bottom. And then you're just going to wrap over like you would a burrito. There we go. Let's move on to a second one. Take another scoop of the filling right in the center of the tortilla. This dessert is awesome because the tortillas have both protein and fiber in them, and so it's healthy, it's satiating. You can't really overdo it on these. When you have just about one, that's going to be plenty. Okay, now what I'm going to do is watch. Flip it over, take the toothpick, and kind of weave it together. Kind of like you're sewing. There we go. And we're actually going to bake these seam side down, but this just helps it so it doesn't melt out. These are ooey and gooey, and so if some melts out on your pan a little bit, that's okay. But as you can tell, that toothpick helps keep it together a little bit. Here's our baking pan. We're going to brush on some melted butter all the way around. Go ahead and flip them. You can order these tortillas online at guiltlesssuperfoods.com. We ship all over the US. They're phase 1 friendly. Okay. We have that butter all over. Now this is just some ground cinnamon. Mix it with some xylitol. Stir to combine. And now we're just going to sprinkle it on top of that melted butter there. These are going to get crispy on the outside and warm and gooey on the inside. That butter is going to help them bake up and get nice and crispy. And this topping is going to be sweet and crunchy and golden brown. Okay, guys. We're going to pop these into the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. Our baked strawberry cream cheese chimichangas are out of the oven and they smell amazing. We're going to go ahead and top some with some homemade honey whipped cream. That's just heavy whipping cream and honey. These are still so warm that it's trying to slide right off, but wow, that's going to be delicious. And then we took a strawberry and just sliced it so you can kind of fan it open and make a beautiful presentation there. And then this other one we're going to slice right into to show you that beautiful filling. Kind of crispy on the outside and warm and gooey on the inside. You can see the strawberry and the cream cheese filling there. Do another slice. They really do just kind of melt right over, all over each other. That's delicious. And then you can also take some sliced strawberries and just kind of garnish your plate. This makes for a beautiful and healthy, delicious dessert for a Mexican night or just fun family night at home. Hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lindsay Crouch.
Today, we're going to give you another lesson on the difference between a lump and a tumor. When I say lump, you tend to think cyst or acne or something like that. When I say tumor, you tend to think cancer, right? And that's true in medicine in general. A lot of people go to the doctor for a lump, and it turns out to be a lump. It's no big deal. It's a sebaceous cyst. It can be cut out and taken care of. But a lot of people go to the doctor with a lump, and they say, that's not a lump, that's tumor, that's cancer. And folks, what I want to teach you today is to differentiate between the lump and the tumor because they look just alike. Many of you don't know that fungus grows in a sac. It's called either a mycetoma or an ascomycete. Big names, I know. But fungi can get into a sac formation and begin going through everything from meiosis to mitosis to reproduction in a sac formation, a spongy sac. And when you got that tumor cut out, didn't that look like a spongy sac? So what's the difference then between cancer and a growth of fungus. How I wish every oncologist in the world were watching this, and I will tell you the good news. Many oncologists are now hearing of my work. Of course, initially, if I were an oncologist, Doug Kaufman would be the biggest quack in America. No guy without an MD degree is ever going to figure out this disease. And all I'm saying is maybe we are overdiagnosing it, because maybe 10% of all what we're calling cancer is actually fungus. Okay, but I think it's much higher than that. You've seen the studies here on Know the Cause. So let's go through a few slides here, and let me just try and teach you. Lump versus tumor. Each can thrive in a sac formation. That's a wow. You're kidding. Cancer and fungus can thrive in a sac formation. Each can metabolize nutrients in the absence of oxygen. Okay, so you're in the shower, you're cleaning under your arms, and you feel a little lump. No big deal, it's probably just cyst. 6 months later, it's becoming a bigger lump. 2 months later, it's huge. You got to go to the doctor, right? Folks, in the absence of oxygen, an ascomycete, a sac fungus, or a cancer tumor can get larger and larger and larger. Which is it? I think 100% of them are called tumors. 90% are called tumors, cancer tumors, okay? Each generates a poison, a caustic poison called lactic acid. Each depends on you and me for sustenance, proliferation, and reproduction. Isn't that a wow? Isn't that a wow? That's right. Cancer metastasizes through my body, and it needs me. It's living in a 98.6 degree, body, and it can metastasize quickly, as can fungus. Okay, next slide. Each thrives in the presence of sugar and dies in the absence of sugar. Wow, I'm a cancer patient. The doctor tells me while I'm getting chemotherapy to have a Twinkie and have a soda pop and, alcohol, a little glass of wine isn't gonna hurt you at all. Wow, okay? Next one. Did you know dogs can smell mold in your home? You've seen those ads? What they're smelling is volatile organic compounds, VOCs. And by the way, fungus, mold, and cancers emit VOCs. So is it cancer or is it mold? Both respond to antifungal medicines. There are 6 studies out in the last few years that talk about patients getting better from their cancer or having it stop metastasizing in the presence of antifungal medications, Sporanox, griseofulvin, thiabendazole, etc. So it's interesting that antifungals are helping cancer patients. What must the cancer be if it's responding favorably to drugs that kill fungus? Hope you enjoyed it. Look at that lineup. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott Fogel and all the good people at Life Extension. Folks, we spend so much time addressing, our weight problems, our pain problems. There's the phone number, write it down. I took 3 of their products just this morning before my workout. I love Life Extension. Oh, by the way, what'd you think of the chimichangas? Something new, something really good. Thank you, Lindsay, for that. And then finally, did I stimulate the brain today when I was talking about a tumor versus a lump in your body? So often, folks, doctors don't know the difference. Many things get diagnosed, most get diagnosed as cancer. All I'm asking is that we all stop, pause, and think. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.